Welcome to this explainer, everyone. I am seriously so thrilled to share this one with you because we are standing at a truly fascinating crossroads right now. This year, medicine, consumer technology, and our daily diets are converging in ways we have literally never seen before. We've got brand new data fresh from a massive expert survey, and it is painting a very vivid picture of exactly how we're going to approach our well-being over the next 12 months. From a total revolution in the pharmacy to the AI on your wrist, all the way to your dinner plate, the landscape is shifting dramatically. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be unpacking the 2026 health forecast, why GLP-1s lead the charge, wearables and AI integration, the food as medicine movement, diets by the numbers, and finally, sustainable health resolutions. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the 2026 health forecast. So, to build this forecast, the editors over at US News and World Report tabbed into a panel of exactly 58 leading experts. We're talking top-tier physicians, registered dietitians, and clinical health researchers. You know, when 58 dedicated pros like this reach a clear consensus on modern medicine and nutrition, well, it gives us a highly reliable, data-backed roadmap for the year ahead. Moving on to Section 2, GLP-1s lead the charge. Now, what's really interesting about this is that out of every new surgery or supplement out there, our 58 experts voted GLP-1 receptor agonists as the undisputed top trend of 2026. Look, we all know them for weight loss and type 2 diabetes by now, right? But why are they leading the charge this year? It's because the medical community is realizing these drugs don't just treat surface symptoms. They're actually fundamentally altering the underlying pathways of systemic chronic illnesses. It is, quite literally, a complete paradigm shift in how we manage complex disease. Just look at these specific new targets emerging for GLP-1s. We are seeing aggressive utilization for heart disease and kidney disease, which is offering up profound new tools for cardiovascular and renal health. But get this, perhaps the most surprising part, they're also being targeted toward addiction pathways in the brain. I mean, wow, this is a true vanguard shift. One single class of medication, treating a remarkably diverse array of chronic conditions. Section 3, wearables and AI integration. Tied for second place in the experts' predictions is something that puts the power directly on your wrist. The panel anticipates that smartwatches, fitness trackers, and, the massive consumer adoption of continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, will really drive daily behavioral changes. But the real 2026 supercharger here, it's artificial intelligence. AI is taking all that raw data and turning it into highly personalized, actionable insights to help you make way better daily choices. But we do have a vital caveat from the expert panel here. While this consumer tech is undeniably powerful, it can also be totally overwhelming. The experts stress that you still absolutely need professional guidance. Your doctor or dietitian really has to help you correctly interpret what all this new AI gathered info actually means for your specific health profile. Because let's face it, data is only useful if you know exactly how to apply it safely. Which brings us to Section 4, the food as medicine movement. Sharing that tied second place spot with wearable AI is a trend that offers this kind of fascinating juxtaposition. We're returning to the ancient wisdom of holistic nutrition. Food as medicine basically means actively incorporating a nutritious diet right into chronic disease management. So a healthy diet is no longer just this casual suggestion at the end of your checkup. It is being formally prescribed as a primary medical treatment, sitting right alongside things like GLP-1s and wearable monitors. To give you a highly specific example of this, the panel strongly recommended increasing fiber intake. And no, this isn't just your grandmother telling you to eat your vegetables. They specifically highlight fiber as a hard clinical strategy to actively reduce the risk of colorectal cancer, all while optimizing your gut microbiome. So they're targeting specific medical outcomes with specific food ingredients. All right, Section 5, diets by the numbers. With food as medicine growing like crazy, you might be wondering which dietary pattern the experts actually prescribe. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer dominance here. A massive 70% of those 58 experts chose the Mediterranean diet as the absolute most important nutrition strategy for reducing chronic disease. Plant-based came in a pretty distant second at 21%. And stuff like low carb/low fat, and low calorie, they barely registered at 5% or less. Honestly, it is incredibly rare to see this level of absolute agreement in nutritional science. So why does it remain the undisputed king? Well, US News actually noted that the Mediterranean diet has topped their best overall diet list for 8 straight years. 8 years! The experts point to a very simple, fundamental reason for its effectiveness: its foundational reliance on legumes and other whole foods. It's not a fad. It's a proven, highly sustainable approach to nourishing the body and keeping chronic disease at bay. Finally, Section 6, sustainable health resolutions. So far, we've talked about the big macro trends, right? GLP-1s, AI, global dietary data. But how do we actually apply this to our own micro habits? While the experts advise setting your New Year's goals with an intense focus on making incremental lifestyle changes, look, a massive, sudden overhaul is just way more likely to fail than a slow, steady, manageable adjustment. By keeping the changes small, you ensure real sustainability over the long haul. And this next point, it's actually my absolute favorite takeaway. We are so used to the exhausting idea of restrictive dieting, focusing entirely on what we have to cut out or give up. But the experts suggest flipping that script entirely. In fact, 52% of the panel, so the majority, first choice resolution is to simply focus on adding more beneficial foods to your diet, things like vegetables and whole grains. So don't stress about restricting, just focus on adding the good stuff. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. We've seen the 3 massive pillars of 2026, right? The incredible expansion of GLP-1 medications fundamentally altering systemic disease pathways, the rise of AI-integrated wearables, and that overwhelming expert consensus on the Mediterranean diet. So between medicine, tech, and diet, how will you choose to upgrade your health this year? The data is in, the trends are crystal clear, and the power is totally in your hands to make 2026 your healthiest year yet.